Thank you, Leslie. That made me feel really good. I'm going to start out tonight with a couple of things that I've read before, and then get into some new things. Because my mom is here tonight, and that makes me really happy. Yeah, Mama Science. And she was here, or she was there when this poem, or the memory for this poem took place. This poem is called My First Basketball Season. I hadn't made a basket all season. My teammates bigger and more graceful than my skinny arms and awkward feet. They could dribble, run, stop, and shoot. I always tripped, or left the ball behind so I could run faster. But before the last game, Coach drew a play named Ben, a low pick and roll designed to pop me open on the baseline for an easy 5-footer. On the third run of the play, he leapt, shouting from the bench, fists clenched, when ball kissed blackboard and slipped through the net with a hiss. I had a request for this next poem, so this is called The Heritage of Mud. We walked through the furrowed field, squished mud with foot fists, heads down like diligent archaeologists searching for artifacts in the fertile dirt. Squeeze all the water out, and you've got a clay ball, a perfect ammunition, a rich red, ready for aim, fire. I tried to find the picture of us. That sunny day, the field furrowed in clay-red columns on the north-south axis, our heads down, squeezing mud and water, diligent. But all that's left in our box is a hard ball of red clay, dead and dry. And this is the last of the old ones. These are from my thesis, so I'm very attached to these ones. This one's called Making Bread. Okay. In our heyday, I'd make bread every Sunday, and sometimes you'd help measure the cups of flour, packet of yeast, the cool water, and the silky milk. I'd smile at your unskilled hands kneading the dough. After a minute, you'd hand me the loaf to finish it off, my fingers no stranger to turning soft things, patting flour into the creases, molding it to the pan. When you left, I stopped making bread, the ritual empty to me now. With every wrist twitch and poof of flour mist, I'd smell the bread in your hair dappled with the afternoon, soft kisses and pressing against your rhythm while the dough rose on the porch. I used to think we were making something special, the loaf like our baby, a labor of love now lost amidst distance and spans of silence. I still don't know what happened. Maybe I was too confining, always trying to mold you and fit you into a pan you were always trying to rise above. Let's do some haiku. I love haiku. This is from my chapbook, which I wanted to finish so that I could give out to y'all, but alas, I had a final yesterday. Okay, let's go with appetizers, even though this is more of a mid-meal. It's all right. Oh, well, let's do palate cleansers then. How about that? Here they are. This is called One. The bugs, innumerable, thrumming wings and piercing jaws, a steady, dull hum. Ticks, the tiniest vampire. I saw one leap from a rock to my leg. 2. How many the cobwebs? The trail was narrow, every 100 feet a hidden, sticky net. My headband covered with an iridescent layer of gossamer silk. Okay, and then... yeah, this one's called Diamond Wind. Jumbled black ink merges fuzzily, and pale blue lines intersect at odd angles. A whirling behind my eyes, the inverted cone and mixing colors swung by a food processor's blade, a dust devil gathering strength in a fallow field, a plume of moth-wing dust before candle flame, cloudy frost blanketing a window pane, the tresses of your hair, a swirling brown mess with the top down. A snowbank curved slightly from the cellar door, pushed roughly scaling by the winnowing wind. The rain hones in an open sash, like steel, like an oil well, like the pen's rolling ball bleeding black ink. Slowly, the edges stand at attention, and a pen's head, a precise moment, crystallized. Thank you. And then these are my last two, and this is very me. This one right here. This is called Spice Market. I know. And then the heat broke. From a shiver between dunes, a collection of palms fanned their spiky fronds. There we go. The sand soaked and bounced the sun, or took flight chasing a windstorm, but rarely yielded this shade of green, so lush, bright. Was it water or heat shimmer shaking blue rays in the unblinking light? Yes, water. And round the shaded pool sat sacks and sacks of spices, rows of coriander seeds, pale brown like dirty teeth, mounds of cinnamon, columns of cloves, gnarled black peppercorns, glowing yellow ginger, pungent and clean. A multitude of smells, a symphony of colors, the spices turned and flourished by a merchant's nimble hands and sold with his clever mouth. I bent over a sack of turmeric, his linen turban bobbing with syllables. And then the sun touched a far-off dune, and the falling rays lit the clearing saffron. You passed between two staked tents, coming this way. Dipping your long fingers into a pale purple heap reeking lavender, the red sunset rays illuminated a band of gold in your hazel irises. Later, under a fig tree, I peeled back your paprika sari and tasted your salty neck, seasoned to perfection. And this is my last one. This one's called Skipping Stones. I went to Arkansas on a camping trip late in the summer and couldn't write about the damn thing forever. You know, I tried to write about it. It was always stupid. It was always like, oh, the trees are so beautiful, the water, nothing. But then after a while, this one just kind of came out. And like some of my poems, this is a true story. Not all of them, but some of them. Skipping Stones. The trail switchbacks on a nickel, descending slowly to Hurricane Creek. The wade usually wide when runoff from snowmelt chills and swells the width of it, but persistent heat and mineral-rich rocks baked off inches, and moldy stones reflect the sun at a dull slant. Setting down my pack, the metal frame studded with polymer fixings and plastics, I waded into the warm green water. The crossing was slippery and at times spiky, but thanks to rubber shoes, I fell only once. A pointed flat stone bit into the heel of my left hand. Just a small cut. Silly, really, but a stubborn one. So I bundled my headband into my palm, letting the blood pool and dry in the fabric. Squeezing a fistful of bandage, I scanned the nearby stones for a suitable skipper, and found a thin, round one just beneath the current's slow flow. Hip, shoulder, forearm, wrist. The stone leapt across the surface in a dappled ripple dance. The measured slap, always a steady decrescendo toward plop. Another one hurtles out. The angle met by the stone's front edge too steep, and a disappointing ploosh prompts another throw. And then I was a whip for the stones skipping, a tool, a conduit for these stones, connected to them beyond thumbs and elbows, the practice motion of select, stoop, pivot, merely white noise against a concert of thwap water, plunk rock, stone click, fingers snap. My arms suddenly heavy, the valley settles into stillness. Pocketing two good picks, I rubbed their muddy circumference while I wade back downstream, where my polyester treasure chest waits for me to carry it home. Thank you.